you see me from a different angle. Here I am. This is just a cheap little consumer grade camera, and it's picking me up and it's sending that signal right now live to YouTube. Now you might say, well, you know, so what, I can do that already with, you know, the gear that I have. Well, for starters, in terms of cost, this is $649 for the box, and it does the YouTube streaming automatically, takes that input and it feeds it through, which is great, and it's super simple. One button. I literally clicked one button. Now, of course, you have to enter the credentials for your YouTube channel, but you know, that's a one-time event, right? But where it really comes into play is, imagine if I'm the pastor and I have my here, let me just do this. Yeah, I have my sermon all teed up, and today my sermon is going to be all about the KLIK Boks demo kit. I'm kidding, but you know, it's got to be about something that I have on my laptop. So I literally fire up my laptop and I go ahead and I start streaming from my laptop this presentation, and the screen splits into two. Now, you know, if you're already streaming your church services, you know that in order to do what I'm doing right now, you need a PIP processor, or you need some kind of video processing. Maybe it's built into your switcher or whatever. But it immediately, just being able to do what I'm showing right now, requires something in the range of a couple $1,000s of video processing to do, in addition to the encoder that's going to send the signal to the internet. Now, I can, of course, you know, do whatever I want to do. Again, we're using the analogy of a church here, so I'm going to say, you know, I'm the pastor, the camera's on me, you can see me, and then you can also see live my sermon, or my, you know, what I'm talking about today, right? Or you can see lyrics from, you know, whatever hymn we're going to be singing. Now, I can also add more content to the screen, and as I add more content, the screen will split. So I can add a second computer feed, I can add a third one, I can add my iPhone, excuse me, so you can, you know, I can make a point, or by using an accessory that we have that we call the Kinect, and we spell that K-N-K-T, I can add another HDMI source. And in this case, I'm adding just a cheap, you know, little camera. It's like, I don't know if I can move it to show you in the field of view here. It's just one of these little action cams, you know, a cheap little one. And so the frame rate isn't great, but you know, I use it as a document camera to demonstrate how you would use this with a document camera. Not so much for live video, because you can see the video's a little choppy. But so now I'm putting this content up on the screen. My remote viewers are watching all of this, and it's terrific. And I, as the pastor, I'm running this whole thing with simply my laptop and a mouse. So my laptop is just for the content that I'm putting up, and then the mouse is just so that I can control and I can switch these sources. So if I go to the PowerPoint, and I want to make that full screen, I've full screened it. You don't see my video or the other video. They're still there, but the audio is passing through. Still passing through, so it's passing through live to YouTube. So of course, if we had the YouTube feed live right now, you'd be able to see that in real time. And you're welcome to just go to YouTube and search for KLIK Boks, just K-L-I-K space B-O-K-S, and you'll see live streaming now, live, whatever it'll say. You click on it. I've got it set for public, so, you know, and there's no restrictions on it. And you can actually watch me doing all of this live, right?
Yes.
So, you know, I mean, there are lots of additional features here, and I can talk about all those features, but, you know, this is the primary feature that people are interested in right now, which is the fact that we have live streaming to YouTube, and we're going to expand that to other platforms, but we figured let's get it right, you know, with the top platform to start with, and then we can move on from there. But you see, passing, and this isn't just a pass through the HDMI input. This actually goes into the processing. It's processed. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to do the split screen, and we wouldn't certainly be able to pass audio when we're not passing video. So it's not a pass through. It's a processor, and I can turn off the other the document camera that I'm saying in this particular example, and I could add more content, and you can have up to 4 pieces of content on the screen at the same time. So,
Costa, can I interrupt?
Of course.
Well, here, if I have the hub,
Mm-hmm.
because right now I'm loaning equipment to them.
Yep.
They're and like I said, I'm using Blackmagic encoder.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, if I wanted the content of the sermon on there,
Mm-hmm.
can I pull the content off of the computer while I'm streaming to YouTube?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. That content is coming from this laptop.
Oh, I thought you had a document camera doing that part.
No, the camera, it was that other camera that I was showing you that was just another HDMI camera that I could add to it with this accessory box that we've got that we call the Kinect. This is the Kinect box. I'll bring it up to the screen here. You'll see. Oh, are you viewing that? Yeah, you're viewing that.
Yes.
You can see that that's got an HDMI input and micro USB for power, and you simply plug that in, and you touch one button right here to get it started. That button, you hit it, and the stream starts. The one that I've got that I'm using is unfortunately entangled up in the cables here. I can't really hold it up. So. Yeah.
What are you calling that thing? I'm not seeing the Kinect box on a list of equipment I wrote down.
It's an accessory. It's on our website.
Okay.
Yeah, we spell it KNKT. It's the model number is the KB400, and I'll show you a little bit more in a moment. But let me just bear with me one moment here. Let me just see if I have the Kinect in. I think it's in this. It's actually, yeah, there it is. It's in this presentation. Coincidentally, there it is. I mean, that really doesn't show it very well, but and it's on our website. It's the KLIK Connect HDMI. It's a brand new product. It works with all models, not just the hub. So you could actually take this and a KLIK stick, and you could use any HDMI source going into this thing to stream to the stick. So you know. It's a great little accessory. So that's the essence of the hub. I mean, I have more information that I can give you, but and oh, by the way, I neglected to point out one more thing that makes the hub really kind of cool is it's got built-in annotation. So you can go choose the pen color, pen width. You've got shapes that you can choose from. You've got you can type, alpha and numeric characters on the screen, and what's cool here is, okay, so you do standard annotation. You can make your point, whatever, and you can have multiple pages of annotation. Sorry, let me just go here. Multiple pages of annotation. So you can do annotate here. You can also annotate on this screen. In fact, you can annotate everywhere. In fact, more than annotation, you can just choose a different background and you can do there you go. You can choose a graph paper background. You can choose, whatever you like, and you can illustrate right on it. So that may not necessarily be applicable to House of Worship, but it's a business feature.
It's applicable to the architects that I deal with, and engineers. They're
there you go.
Where Costa, I had Parkinson's, so when I annotate, okay, on a piece of paper for them, this would be better because my lines wouldn't be as shaky. It doesn't look like I just draw a big circle.
That's awesome. And if you have a touch screen, I don't know if any of your installations include touch displays, but you can actually plug the touch display into the hub. So now you can do all of this stuff right from the screen. It's really super cool, and I mean, I don't have, I'm operating from home this week as well, so I got 2 touch screens at the office, but none here to demonstrate it with. It'd be great if I had one here. But check this out. I'm going to say, okay, well that's my idea, and then you're going to click on that button and you say, well, here's my idea. I think we should do it like this. And then James is going to say, I got a better idea. I think we ought to make it like that. And so now you've got these 4 different pages, and I can actually scroll back and forward to all of these, and then we can choose which one we like. See, it retains all of them, and we can choose the ones that we like, and we just hit save, and we can save those annotations. So then we can distribute them out later. So all of this is recorded on board, You know, it's another important feature. You always have, by the way, the opportunity to, and again for your architects and those guys, you always have the opportunity to do. See, there's another little control over here. I can move it around. Well, whatever's on the screen, you can actually just go right here and do a screen grab, and boom, there it is. It did a screen grab. So, and in addition to that, you can, if you're not streaming, you can record on board. So you could record your whole session. So here's a really cool thing. So think about lecture capture, or think about, you know, for your, again, whether it's house of worship or it's a meeting, you've got a bunch of people congregated in a room, you're making presentations, you're showing stuff, you're annotating, you can, and if you plug in a camera, like I've done now with the HDMI input, whether you've got the video up or not, you can be recording all of it, including the audio. So you say, well, I've got a perfect recording of my meeting, and all of the ideas and all the brainstorming that we did and all the stuff that we put up on the screen, you've got a recording of that. Sorry, I don't even know which camera to look at here to look at you guys.
No, that's fine. I'm listening to you.
Yeah, so you know, now, right now we're streaming all of this to YouTube, and YouTube generously, at the end of all of this, will have a recording. It produces a recording from this live stream, and it'll be sitting there, so after this meeting, you can go and you can view all of this, and you can rewind and fast forward, and you go back to the sections you want to review again and again. That's free, and it's automatic if you choose to stream to YouTube. Or you can stick a thumb drive into your device here, or an SD card. It actually accepts an SD card as well, and you can record this whole meeting. And then you could say to people, you know, I have the recording. Anybody needs it, you know, you let me know. It's up to you. You decide.
Oh, that's right. There was on the hub. There was an SD card input. Yes. Okay.
That is correct. And there are two USB ports as well. And the USB ports, you can plug a flash drive in, or you can plug in. I've got a wireless mouse that I've plugged into mine, and if I can just do this one more time here, let me just show you. If I decide to hold on, let's just make this red. So if I wanted to write something on the board, I can actually type it. You see that the keyboard popped up. And but I don't like using that keyboard, so I'm using this keyboard, and it's a wireless keyboard, and this is a $20 Logitech, you know, pair, wireless mouse and keyboard for $20 that I got at Office Depot. I think it was Office Depot, and or it might even been like $14.99 or something like that. And you plug that dongle into the KLIK Boks, and now you've got a completely interactive system. You can type, you can do whatever you want right from here. Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So you know, these are the things that the hub does, and you know, because of the split screen capability, because of the HDMI input in particular, and the onboard streaming, recording, and annotation, that makes it. Let me just be, and I'll say humbly, this you could spend 3 times the money, and you cannot get what we have packed into this box.
Why be humble? Donald is.
Yeah, but I like to be respected by people for my honesty.
I respect Donald. My wife says, why does he always have to be so? It's me. But whatever. Go ahead.
I can provide the insight to that, and you know, I mean, I don't mean to say anything nasty about anybody, but you know, it's kind of it's a substitute. Something's missing. When something's missing in a person's soul, that's the manifestation. When something is missing, people are aggressive, and they lie and they cheat, and that's just revolting to me. I just don't like it in anybody. It doesn't matter in anybody. But anyhow.
Yes. Let me see if I've got this right.
Yep.
On the hub, I can plug in 2 cameras, right?
No, you can plug in 1 camera. There's 1 HDMI input.
Okay.
If you want a second camera,
I have to keep my controller there.
Yep. You're using 2 cameras?
I'm using 2 cameras.
Okay. And are you doing any special effects between the two cameras? Are you doing PIP, or just hard switching from one to the other?
No, no, it's a smooth switch because I'm using the controller. It's a smooth, go from one camera to the other.
Right, right.
But when that controller's out there, I need that controller elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that we do is we're everything that we do. I'm showing you right here. There's nothing more than there's nothing less. Now, I haven't actually tried to stream a better quality camera through this box. This really I only reserved for for like a document camera or something like that. But
I don't see anything wrong with that quality really right now.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is you can't do transitions like, a smooth transition, whatever. You would turn that camera on, you would turn it off. Right now I'll switch it on, boom, there it is. Now it's like I say, this is a cheap little camera, and it's not necessarily as good a quality as the other one that I have plugged in here, but nonetheless. That's that's kind of what we do. Let me just get rid of this annotation at the bottom here and exit. It's prompting me to save because, of course, I didn't save any of those. So as we're going through, you can choose to make the thing full screen. Now, because this is not it's not a production thing. What you see on the screen, you see all these controls and so forth. That may or may not suit you for a house of worship application. On the other hand, if it's $649 and you can turn any church into a remote church like that, then maybe that's fine.
No, I like that, and I maybe could get it down to one camera.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, here's my, and I used to be an integrator years ago when we called ourselves sound contractors.
Well, you got tired of not making any money?
Yeah, I did, as a matter of fact. It seemed like when I sold my company, I had 28 employees, and we were also a union shop. And so, because we were doing a lot of work where, it was back in the day. Anyhow. But yeah, I mean, the bigger the company got, the less money I made. Isn't that the way it's supposed to work?
Well, sure it is.
Yeah.
Well, no.
So no. What I was going to say is, to me, I've done a lot of church installs over the years, and so I'll break them down into three church sort of types or layouts. So there's the one layout where it's literally a flat floor, and there's no sound operator. It's just maybe a couple of knobs, or somebody's put in an auto mixer or whatever. It's a small congregation. That application, take the camera, put it on the tripod, and train it on the front. And you don't have to zoom in just on the pastor, but get a little width, give the pastor some opportunity to move around a little bit, and you're good to go. In the situation where you might have a console and a sound operator, put the hub right there. Give them a mouse, have a monitor so you can see, what's being streamed, and let that operator maybe zoom in, zoom out, whatever, depending on if there's content up on a screen or something like that. And then the third application is if you've got a balcony, then you might have a couple of operators. It's up to you. You know what you're doing. You know how to deploy.
Well, the KLIK Boks is for me adding content.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the KLIK Boks plugs into the USB.
No, the KLIK Boks. The KLIK Boks has the sorry, I don't have the presentation up here, but the KLIK Boks I/O is you've got here. Let me just find the page here. You've got the HDMI input for the camera, and you have the an RJ45 for connection to the network. Okay, because this is your encoder. And then all the other sources are coming in wirelessly. So, for example, I'm streaming over Wi-Fi from my laptop to I guess you can see that screen. So I'm streaming wirelessly from my laptop to the KLIK Boks, and you could have up to 4 sources on the screen at the same time. And one of them could be the camera, or if you don't want the camera up on the screen, you know, the HDMI input, you don't have to have it up on the screen. But, you know, in this particular case, you know, I can get rid of all of that other content. You're still seeing my stream, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that and let me touch on very quickly the other products. Just bear with me one moment here. And again, you know, normally it takes some time, and we do take quite a bit of time to go through the product line and what everything does and whatever. But out of respect for your time, I think, you know, we're kind of jumping around and trying to be as efficient as possible. But let me just show you here, if I may. So the other products in the line, just so I can touch on them, excuse me, are the KLIK Stick. And the KLIK Stick is designed to be the kind of product that you install anywhere anybody has a TV or a display or a projector, and they want to have wireless presentation capability, or you know, they want to be able to take something from their computer and stream it to the screen. The KLIK Stick does that for $149. And it works with Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, Chromebooks, whatever. So for $149, you can make any display wireless. And you could even use it in your application. Let's say you were happy with your switcher and you've got 2 cameras and you wanted to add content to it. You could buy a stick, and that could be your content input. And then you could manipulate it around and whatever. But of course, it obviously takes that additional hardware that you have. Right.
Yeah, but that switcher controller I'm talking about is way too expensive.
Yeah.
There's less expensive controllers out there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I appreciate that, and that's really why we're talking about the hub solution, because the hub gives you, you know, it gives you the video capture, and it gives you some processing and switching and encoding all in one box for $649. So, and it's easy enough that literally it could be just the pastor with his or her laptop, you know, for the content, a mouse, and a video camera, and you're done. And that's your whole setup.
Is the hub and the switch box in stock?
The hub right now, I'm out of stock, it's a curse and a blessing at the same time. I was just talking to the factory this morning in Taiwan, and I'm expecting a shipment early next week, but everything in that shipment is currently sold. So yeah, you know, guys like James here, you know, they've been on the horn telling people about this stuff, and somehow it's working. But you know, I just got an order from our German distributor this morning, and he's had two pieces that he was evaluating, and he's placed a real big order as well. Now I have to find a way to tell him he's going to have to wait a little bit for it. But
so what are we looking at any new order?
Sorry?
If we put an order in today, how long are we looking?
Well, I don't know, and I don't know because my man in Taiwan, James, came back to me. He said, "Okay, look, I'm gonna see what I can do. You know, because of now we got a longer lead time because of the coronavirus, blah blah blah." He's gonna get back to me. So I haven't got a commitment from him, so I can't give you a commitment right now. But I told him the kind of quantity I need, and you know, he's just going to have to jump through hoops.
In your estimation, are we looking at weeks or are we looking at months?
We are not looking at months. If we were looking at months, I wouldn't be on this call.
Okay.
He'd be talking to Louie in Chicago.
Yeah, you got that right.
That at least helps me. I mean, if it's just weeks, we can deal with weeks usually. But.
Yeah, I mean, we got caught on the stick when we launched the stick last year, I think it was May or June, we launched the stick. And we had forecast sales for 6 months. We had inventory, we built inventory for 6 months worth of sales. I didn't want to, be ordering constantly and falling behind. We sold out of that inventory in 45 days. And then for the next 6 months, we had nothing. And I just did not want to end up in the same position here. So I waited quite a long time to get into production before we actually start telling people about the product. But who would have predicted this coronavirus thing and the spike in demand because of the streaming feature?
Right.
That's what's happening. So I'll get you delivery information. Hopefully, I'll have it. It's already Friday, and it's going to be Friday morning in Taiwan by the end of today, and hopefully I'll have word either today or Monday. But yeah, I mean,
Jim and Costa, I want to start playing with that as soon as I can. Okay, the hub and the KLIK Boks. So James, I'll get an order down to you.
Okay.
Is that how it's going to work right now? I get an order down to you.
We'll you can get me an order. I need to get you the dealer paperwork.
Didn't I do that?
You might have. I
don't know. I don't know what I did in the last 3 weeks.
It's a PDF, and you can fill it in. You just fill it in electronically. You hit the send button. It'll go. You don't have to manually sign it. It's got an electronic digital signature thing in it, so it's nice and easy to do.
And in the meantime, I want to look for a less expensive controller. I can make this at my church. I can make this work with one camera. I don't need to be. The only thing I'm doing right now, the one camera is wide view, and the other camera is going up onto the ambo.
Yeah.
And I can do this sermon. I can, I don't have to zoom in and count his hairs on his head. I could do.
The way I look at it is like this, I would go for like a midfield view, not too close, because then, he's going to move out of the frame, right? Not too wide, because what else is going on, at the same time that you need a real wide shot. So go for a mid view, and as long as you've got good audio, as long as you've got quality audio, you've got the right mics, you've got the right gain structure, maybe somebody's operating the board, etc. I think being able to see a snippet of video but have good, clean audio, it's like we're doing right now. I'm looking at you guys in a little box like this big. It's not great video, but the audio is great. By the way, Al, your audio is perfect. That headset mic is perfect.
It's cheap.
Is it?
Yeah.
It works.
No, because my clientele. I quit dealing with the mega churches when they started stealing from me, stealing my designs. So I don't do them anymore. I also don't. That is a Rolex, isn't it, on your wrist?
No, it's a Breitling.
Oh, okay.
If you're into watches.
Oh, it's under 1,000.
I don't know. It was a gift from my wife many years ago, so I didn't ask. Oops.